What's up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. As you can see, I'm on the road and I'm actually driving the throtl RX-7. We are putting some miles on this bad boy before we give it off to the new winner who's coming in from Vermont to pick it up very shortly. I'm also going to run it by DNA Garage today. They're going to have a look over the car as well before we give it away, which is really cool. Thanks to those guys for being champs and just giving it a good look for us. That's what they do. I am taking the RX-7 up to Abel Ibarra's shop in Ontario, California to pick up some parts for the Bad Apple. So we're gonna get a set of E&J seals from him. They were the seals that we had in the car originally and they're awesome. I want to replace them with the same thing. So we're gonna run up to his. He's got some in stock, so we don't have to wait for them to come in the mail. I'm gonna take you guys along with me and show you guys Abel's shop while I'm there. I'm not gonna be there too long, so it's gonna be a brief stop, but gonna grab them, head over to DNA Garage, and we're gonna start putting this motor back together, boys. Woo!
A few minutes later.
All right, well, Abel's kind of a secretive guy, so I wasn't allowed to do any filming in the shop. He's got some incredible cars in his shop right now. But I've got our E&J seals, and I've got our new solid corner seals. Can't really see them, but that's what we need to get this thing put back together. So it's off the DNA Garage we go. As soon as we get there, we're gonna fire this thing back together and get it ready to install back in the car tomorrow morning. You! All right, well, it took me about an hour and a half, but just got the RX-7 and got over to DNA Garage. We're gonna go ahead and start putting this motor back together. It's gonna be a late night, boys. All right, guys, so it's not gonna be a late night after all. I went ahead and actually met up with John and Louie, and we basically decided to not make it a late night tonight. We're gonna actually just be back here first thing in the morning. We went ahead and cleaned up everything that we're gonna be reusing. The irons are all cleaned up and checked out. We've got our new apex seals. We've got our new side seals. We've got all of our new rotor seals and then our water jacket seals as well. And we've got two new rotor housings that are in the office. Essentially, we've got all the bits we need to put everything back together. Now we just got to do the work of actually porting the exhaust ports, then fitting the seals on the rotors, and then tomorrow we will actually start to put this thing back together. And then unfortunately, I leave for Japan, and I'm going to be gone for a week. So I'm not sure how this is all going to play out, but I'm going to go ahead and end this video tonight. And I will be back with you guys first thing in the morning here because I'm going to be doing the porting and putting the seals on my rotors. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Probably won't sleep too well tonight. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, so it's the next morning and we're back here at DNA Garage and it is porting day. So we're going to go ahead and start porting our new housings. Here's one right here, already set up to go. We've got our other two. Our other one right here, this is an empty box. This is our new housing. Interesting note, blue and white label, black label. Black label. That can only lead you to believe one thing, that we've got two brand new rotor housings, and that is the case. So we're gonna have to port the exhaust housings on these and then also open up the eyebrow cuts on the housings for our bridge port. And we'll show you guys that in a minute. John, our engine builder, has already got me all set up over here to start porting these housings. And basically what we've done is put some die cam on the housing itself, and then we've already used a template and scribed our new cut lines where we're going to cut to open up these exhaust ports. We are opening them up a little larger than we did last time. In fact, let me grab one of the old housings and show you guys the old ports versus what the new ports are going to look like. So here is our old exhaust port. You can see how it's been opened up here. This is a standard port directly from Mazda, quite a bit different. So this is what we're going to be doing on this one as well. Now mind you, like I said, we're going to actually open up these ones bigger than the old ones that I had. Those were also brand new housings when we got them. John ported them and did the coolant modification to the housings as well, all in here. As you can see on this one, this is how they look from the factory. There's no no ridges or striations in the aluminum where John added them here. So I don't think we're gonna actually do the coolant modification on these new housings, being that we're not building a race car. We're gonna go ahead and get this one opened up and we'll bring you guys along for the process. Okay, a little progress report here. Starting to really get some material removed now. John has me working from the exhaust port side now and really trying to smooth out these edges in here. I think we're doing pretty good. We're pretty much flush and rounded where the insert meets the actual housing. This is going pretty good. A little bit of a slow process. Being my first time doing an exhaust port on a rotor housing, I'm sort of taking my time. It's a little bit of material at a time instead of really going in there and getting after it, because I don't want to screw this up. These housings are $500 to $800 each, depending on which ones you get, and it's an expensive mistake to screw up when you're porting. So just a little bit at a time and we'll get there. This thing's going to make some good power and sound awesome. We're actually going bigger, as I mentioned earlier, than the old ports, so probably going to make a little bit different sound and hopefully some more power, which is pretty cool. Sorry for this brief interruption, boys, but I want to let you know that all of the Mickey Spec merch has been restocked after selling out. We've got more jet tags with the Mickey Spec and the RX-7 logo, one on each side, and we've got the new Mickey Spec logo and the rotor piston logo on the back, which is my favorite logo of all. And just a reminder, guys, all the proceeds from the t-shirt and jet tag sales goes directly into the Bad Apple RX-7 to make it better and to keep bringing you guys content. Go swoop up some new merch, support your boys. Thank you. This shiny area right here, this is what I need to get rid of, right? I can take a bunch of this material.
You've got two different things here. You got the steel liner and then aluminum.
Okay.
So the steel liner, might even want to come in through here and just kind of
knock that all down?
Yeah.
Okay. I can probably get it with that, but it's going to take some harder work.
Well, that'll do it. You know, work it down, but keep away from here. Just make a flat.
Keep away from this flat surface.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to get low there.
Yep.
Okay. Is that closer?
Oh yeah, getting closer.
Okay.
Just start working in that area.
Okay. So we want it to roll, or we want it to be more straight? I still have it too.
Yeah, you get too much of a hump. Oh yeah. And you'll finish that off a bit with the sandpaper. Yeah, sandpaper roll will take care of that.
Alright, so if you guys are wondering how to port things, you need to have porting bits, and I've been using a variety of different bits here. They are for aluminum, and now I'm going to actually move on to a sanding bit, which once all of the porting has been done, so it's basically roughed in, basically you're going to go back in with this sanding roll disc tool and basically smooth it all nice and flat. So you're going to get all the high and low spots that you've created with the larger, more aggressive bit, and just go back and make it very nice and smooth. So that's what we're gonna do now. Alright, so I found a spot at the top of the port that is much too abrupt, so I need to go back with the other like bigger deburring tool and actually go in there and remove a little bit more material and then go back and sand it again. Really want this to flow as smoothly as possible, no real abrupt shapes. Alright, well I think I've done as much as I can do on this port without having John look it over and give me an idea of how I did here. So I'm gonna wait till he's done working on what he's working on, grab him, have him take a look at it. I'm pretty happy with it. I might need to go back and just do some minor touch-ups. Again, see you guys, this is the first time I've ever done this, so this is a learning process for me. I will say I am liking the way it looks. Alright, so stage 1 and 2 are done on the first rotor housing, and we've got stage 3 and 4, which are basically going to be smoothing stages to get those ports nice and smooth. And basically, so now the rough shape is there, and now we're going to go back and clean it up. But before we go back and clean that all up, we're going to go ahead and start on number 2, rotor housing number 2. We've got our die chem on the housing, and we're going to go ahead and use our exhaust port template to scribe that out. We've made our alignment scratch here in the side of the housing. So basically we just align the bottom of this template to there, right about there, and then we'll just run a scribe around this template using one of these. Scribe this in, and then that tells us where we want to cut and blend. Alright, well, we've gotten pretty far with this porting. Went with some monster exhaust ports. That's partially due to my inexperience, but basically we open them up as big as we can. Honestly, John said this is some of the bigger ones he's seen. He's done a few that were much bigger than this.
That's what she said?
But me and my infinite Mickeyisms and Mickey specking, I just kept blending and blending, which in turn opens up the holes. Not a detriment, it's not a bad thing. More exhaust out is never a bad thing.
Better out than in, I always say.
We're still well within range, and it's just for a street car, it's a big exhaust port. We are now on to the third stage, which is essentially polishing what we've cut. So as you can see here, the ports are cut, and now we've got a sandstone bit that looks like this. This is a very fine stone that John's gonna go in and actually polish this all out. And then there's a fourth step after that, which we'll show you. So John, what do you have there, bud?
Flapper.
Flapper disc? Is that a homemade flapper though? Well, that's not your Harbor Freight off the shelf flapper.
No, it's flapper.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why John makes the big buck. He's got them finishing skills. So I am actually going to learn on this process. I'm going to let John do this. He's an expert. So I'm going to watch and maybe take a crack at the second one. What are you doing? Flickers? Didn't bring me none. Alright, so the porting is all polished up and ready to go. That's our exhaust porting. Looks beautiful. John came in, saved the day. Stage 3 and 4 turned out really good. So now we're actually getting the housings ready for the eyebrow cuts, which are necessary when you have a bridge port. You need to clearance these housings on the edge where the bridge port resides.
Sits behind.
otherwise it's blocking the air from coming in. So this creates a nice smooth inlet of air, or smooth inlet for the air to travel through, I guess is the best way to say it. So now that we've got that laid out and marked, you can see there the scribe, we can actually go in and cut that out with the bits. This template comes in real handy. Alright, so John passed off the tool to me now. It's time for me to cut the other 3 eyebrow cuts on the housing so that when we put this together, the maximum amount of air can get into this motor once it's all sandwiched together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I am. Not even nervous, not even a little bit. Not even that much. Yeah. Not bad for a rookie. Now let's try this again on the other side. There we can see our eyebrow cut laid against our iron. We've got a nice smooth route of intake airflow. That's awesome. Beauty. She's gonna purr like a kitten. Actually, she's not gonna purr like a kitten. But one thing about being here at DNA Garage, the ice cream truck comes by in the mid-afternoon. You know your boy's gotta go with the SpongeBob. Thanks, Louie, for hooking me up with the SpongeBob popsicle ice cream thing with eyeballs that break your teeth. So tasty.
A few minutes later.
So the next bit of business is to get our side seals prepared to go on our rotors. The housings are done and ready, just chilling over there. Now we just gotta get the rotors ready to get put inside of those housings. John has a little jig set up here on his mill. So essentially he uses an old rotor mounted to the mill
with a little cut in it.
With a cut and then
finger cut.
Sandstone rotating inside the corner seal area. And he just runs the side seal into the groove against the stone, and it shapes it for what's going to be our new setup, which is our rotors, new corner seals, solid corner seals. These are our new side seals. Pretty trick little setup. This has been machined out so that you can pinch the seal and pull it out of there. This ensures that you get your side seals the right length and the right angle on them so that they sit nice and flush against the side seal. Mazda sends these, one side is pre-cut, the other side is left long, so you have to do this regardless. They don't come straight out of the bag. So you're looking for a nice tight fit, John?
1.5 thou, 1.5 to 3 thou.
1.5 to 3 thousandths of an inch clearance. And then once they're in there and you've got the clearance right, you should see a little bit of play when you push down once the spring is in there. Spring is in there, correct?
Well, you want it to be able to push down the corner seal and still have the side seal not move.
So we have to do, each rotor has 6 of these, so we have to do 12 of them total. This is the time-consuming part of building one of these motors. There's all these little detail things, but if you're good at it, or you have your tricks and tips and tools set up to do it, you can knock it out pretty quick. John has obviously been doing this for many, many years, and I'm fortunate to have him helping me and kind of showing me the ropes. So So as you guys can see, this is a pretty tedious process. Having this set up definitely speeds it up a bit, but it's definitely not the swiftest or fastest process there is in the book. So when we did the video the first time around, one of you guys made a comment in the comment section about how does John keep the side seals and the corner seals intact when he's installing the rotors? Why don't they fall out? Well, the reason they don't fall out is because they have the proper clearance on the side seals to the corner seals, which is 1.5 thousandth of an inch, and that's essentially on a thickness gauge. It's literally like a piece of paper. This is a feeler gauge or like a thickness gauge, and you need to have enough clearance just to get this between there and there. And so this one is ready to go. So now when John picks this up, none of these seals should fall out.
Whatever you want to do.
So everything stays in. So if you've built it properly, if you built the rotor properly with all the seals and everything's sized properly, they shouldn't fall out. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in Mazda. They went ahead and changed things up on us, boys. The new labels are black and white. No more blue and white labels, I guess. Kind of a bummer, really. So essentially that's the rotor being set up. I'm not going to bore you guys with us doing every one of them. I'm actually going to probably take a crack at sizing some of these so I know how to do it in the future. Because after all, the reason I built this car was to learn about rotaries and how rotaries work and to have a pretty cool car. I have been fortunate enough that John from Rotary Reliable Racing and Louis from DNA Garage, who are partners, have taken me under their wing and allowed me to be here so much. I've literally been here more than I've been at the throtl headquarters lately. One, because I want to be, but two, because I want to get this motor back together and get this car back on the road. What happened was unfortunate, but we're going to persevere, and I'm actually learning a ton doing this process again. I'm pretty excited, actually. I think it's going to be better than it was before. I'm going to go cut some side seals.